The movie begins in Japan with a student named Takahata, who was distinguished among the other students because he was very smart. But due to his intelligence, he often felt bored with life. One day, while he was in the classroom and the teacher was writing on the blackboard, the teacher's head suddenly exploded. In his place, a strange talking game figure called Daruma appeared. This game challenged the students with a deadly rule. If it turned its face and saw any student moving, it would immediately explode their head. However, when the game turned its back, the students were allowed to move freely. The game mostly kept its face turned, instantly killing any student it saw moving. Even those who got scared and tried to run away died instantly. Eventually, the game began turning its face, while repeatedly saying its name, Daruma. The remaining students, overwhelmed and confused, panicked and asked what they should do. Meanwhile, each time Daruma killed a student, small red balls came out of them. Two students tried to run and open the door while Daruma turned its back, but they found the door locked. When Daruma turned around again, it killed them both. Students screamed in terror. A student named Sakti calmed them down and said, "I know this game. It's Daruma's game. We're trapped in it until the game kills us all. But there's a button on the back of Daruma. If we press it, the challenge will end." One student made a desperate attempt to run toward the button, but Daruma sensed the movement, spun around quickly, and killed him. That was Daruma's strategy. Though she moved slowly when idle, she could sense movement and react instantly. Then, the students noticed a timer on Daruma's back showing they had only 1 minute left. If the minute expired, everyone would die. All the students tried to reach Daruma and press the button, but some slipped on the red balls scattered across the floor. Daruma turned and killed those who fell. The classroom became filled with dead bodies and only 10 seconds remained. The only students left were Takahata and Sakti. They quickly made a plan. Sakti pretended to yawn and distracted Daruma, allowing Takahata to leap onto her back and press the button just in time. Takahata succeeded at the last second. The game crashed, visibly upset that it had been defeated. Takahata and Sakti celebrated that they had survived. But suddenly, the head of another figure exploded, and Daruma spoke to Takahata saying, "You are the one who stepped on the button, so you are the only winner of the challenge." Takahata couldn't believe what he was hearing. Daruma also warned him, saying, "The cat is still coming," hinting at the next challenge. Suddenly, the classroom door opened, and a girl named Ichika appeared. She was in shock. Takahata approached her to check on her, and Ichika told him she had also participated in the Daruma challenge. When she had pressed her button, all her classmates died. She told Takahata, "The same thing happened to us." They decided to call the police, but when Takahata checked his phone, there was no network. They tried to escape from the school, but all the doors were locked. He tried to break the glass, but it wouldn't break. Eventually, Ichika found a door that opened into the gymnasium. As soon as they entered, the door locked behind them. They were trapped again, but they weren't alone. Other students were there too. Some of them were wearing mouse-like costumes and hats. Takahata realized they had entered a new challenge. On the floor, a message was written, "Put the ball in the basket to win." Suddenly, the ground shook, and a giant cat-shaped statue emerged. The cat began eating a student who was dressed like a mouse and started chasing other mouse-costumed students. This challenge was even more difficult than the previous one. The students ran in fear as the cat chased them. The cat started moving toward Takahata and Ichika, but it didn't eat them since they weren't wearing mouse costumes. A ball rolled past them on the ground, and Takahata noticed a basketball hoop embedded in the giant cat's body. He realized that the challenge was to throw the ball into the cat's basket. Takahata informed the other students. A student who was a skilled basketball player asked Ichika to throw him the ball. When he received it, he aimed and threw it towards the cat's basket. The ball was about to go in, but the cat blocked it, caught the ball, and violently threw it back at the student. The ball hit the student with immense force, slamming him into the wall and killing him. The cat then looked at Takahata, but didn't eat him. It focused only on students wearing the mouse costumes. Takahata understood that the cat specifically hunted those dressed as mice. He warned everyone and told them to remove their mouse costumes. All the students quickly obeyed and took off their outfits, and for a moment they were safe. But suddenly, the cat began to move again, this time targeting everyone. Chaos erupted as the students ran around the gym in panic. Meanwhile, Ichikai found the ball lying next to her. There was a timer on the ball, and 3 minutes were left. At that moment, the cat approached Ichika to eat her, and when Takahata saw his friend about to die, he quickly wore the mouse suit to save her. Indeed, the cat left Ichika alone, and Takahata became the new target. Takahata kept distracting the cat, running left and right, asking anyone to throw him the ball. But all the students were too afraid, fearing the same fate as the basketball player who had been killed earlier. Takahata then started hearing a strange sound and realized it was because he was wearing the mouse suit, so he continued distracting the cat. The cat seemed to want someone to scratch its back so it could fall asleep. After understanding this, Takahata ran, climbed onto the cat's back, grabbed a rope, and started scratching the cat's back. When he did this, the cat smiled and stopped attacking for a moment. Takahata wanted to continue doing this, so he called out to the other students for help. Ichika responded and joined him. When the other students saw that this tactic worked, they all climbed onto the cat's back and started a sort of playful quarrel. The cat eventually started falling asleep and finally dozed off completely. Takahata then grabbed the ball and tried to throw it into the basket, but the students began rushing toward him, each one wanting to throw the ball themselves, thinking that only the one who scored would survive. They kept arguing and fighting over who would throw the ball into the basket. Due to the noise they were making, the cat woke up and killed 2 students with its claws. Takahata realized they wouldn't be able to make the cat sleep again because there wasn't enough time left. But then a brilliant idea struck him. He went to get a torn basketball and asked Ichika to bring the cat's ball and go behind the locker room. After that, both of them came out, each holding a ball and both dressed in mouse costumes. They approached the cat from different directions, and the cat became confused, trying to figure out who had the real ball. It accidentally targeted the wrong ball, which turned out to be a regular basketball, and soon realized that Ichika had the real one. It focused on her and blocked her shot, but this had been part of the plan all along. Takahata took advantage of the cat's focus on Ichika, threw his ball instead, and the cat's ball came out from inside it. Unfortunately, the ball missed the basket, and everyone thought they had lost the challenge. But suddenly, a student named Amaya appeared from behind the cat and put the ball into the basket at the very last second. The cat completely froze, indicating that the game was over. A few seconds later, the cat came back to life and announced that the winners were Takahata, Ichika, and Amaya, and no other student's name was mentioned. Takahata then asked what would happen to the rest of the students, and suddenly, Amaya killed the remaining ones who had lost. Amaya was a ruthless person who believed in a world where only the strong should survive. He approached Takahata and Ichika and said that since they were the winners, they were the only ones who deserved to live. Ichika told him he was crazy and that it was wrong to compare himself to them. Amaya became angry at her words and was about to kill Ichika, but Takahata intervened and stopped him. Then the cat released a white smoke, and all 3 students vanished. We then see on the news that the same kind of deadly challenges are now taking place in schools all over the world, and more than 10 million students have already died. News broadcasters begin covering the mysterious disappearances of students, and some media outlets suggest that aliens are behind all of this. Huge cubes have appeared, flying in the sky. Inside the Japanese cube, Takahata wakes up and sees an old friend from another school named Tokaha, with whom he had a close connection in the past. Along with Tokaha, there are 2 other students named Tera and Taka from other schools, and all 3 of them had survived both the Daruma and the cat challenges in their respective schools. Takahata realizes that all the students in the room have names starting with the letter T, and it seems that the rooms are organized by the initial letters of the winners' names. He starts worrying that Ichika and Amaya, whose names start with the same letter, might be in the same room. However, the door to his room is locked, and there's nothing he can do except knock and scream, hoping someone will hear him. Suddenly, Tera speaks up. Tera is a highly intelligent and arrogant student. He tells Takahata that no one is coming to help them, and then shows him a 3D news projection that explains what is happening. Takahata realizes that they are inside the mysterious cubes that have appeared all over the world. Tera then says to Takahata, "We are locked here, and all we can do now is wait for the next challenge." Just then, there's a knock on the door. and 4 strange puppet-like dolls appear, floating in the air, and announce that it's time for the 3rd challenge, which will be harder than all the previous ones. One of the puppets calls on Terra to start the game. Confident in himself, Terra agrees. The puppets explain the rules. Terra must sit on the ground and close his eyes while the puppets circle around him and sing. After they finish the song, Terra will have to guess who is standing behind him. Terra becomes more and more nervous, eventually losing control. One of the puppets fires a laser at him. The laser allows the puppets to completely control Terra's body, making him slam his head into the ground repeatedly until he dies. After Terra's death, the puppets invite Taka to enter and play the game, but she refuses, terrified to the point of paralysis. One puppet tells her, "If you refuse to enter the game, you will die immediately." With no other option, Taka is forced to participate. She covers her eyes as the puppets sing and dance around her in a circle. They ask her, "Who is standing behind you?" Due to her extreme fear, Taka takes a long time to respond. She panics and attempts to escape, but the brides surround her. One of them shoots a laser, forcing Taka to spread her legs. They then pull her apart with such force that her bones break and her body is split in 2. After her death, the brides choose Tox next, but Takahat intervenes and offers to play in her place. The brides agree and begin singing around him. They ask him, "Who is standing behind you?" Surprisingly, Takahat answers correctly. The brides are shocked and ask, "How did you know?" He replies, "I memorized your movements, the energy and rhythm, while watching you play." Since Takahat succeeds, the brides evaporate, leaving behind a key. Takahat and Tox use the key to exit the room. As they escape, they spot another student running with a key while being chased by a bride. The student warns them, saying, "We have to hold hands. This bride kills students who are standing alone." Seeing them holding hands, the bride stops chasing and walks away, looking for another isolated student. Then, Takahat's group, now holding 2 keys, hears the sound and moves toward it. The noise is coming from Ichika, who is being pursued by a bride. Takahat runs ahead to save her, leaving the others. He grabs her hands just in time, seconds before the bride would have killed her. Suddenly, a large wooden head appears on the wall, with a timer running on its forehead. The head contains 7 key slots. It speaks and announces, 7 people must place 7 keys to continue. Takahat's group meets 2 more students, who also have keys. That brings their total to 6 people and 4 keys, meaning they are missing 1 person and 3 keys, with only 2 minutes left. The group begins to lose hope, thinking there's not enough time. Then, someone throws 3 keys toward them. A second student appears beside him. Since there are now 8 people, the newcomer kills his companion to reduce the number to 7, explaining, "I only needed him to survive until now. I held his hand so the bride wouldn't kill me." Tekta didn't want to accept him into the group, but he's forced to agree since they need the keys. They insert the 7 keys into the wooden head, which declares the challenge complete. It passes by them, tells them to change clothes, then disappears, opening a tunnel for them to move forward. They pass through the tunnel and reach the other side, a space where they feel as if they've been saved. Suddenly, the ground shakes and a giant white polar bear appears. It performs a strange show in front of them, then stops. The bear announces, "I hate liars. In this challenge, I'll ask you questions. You must answer truthfully. If someone lies, you must identify them, or choose someone to laugh at to continue." After explaining the rules, the bear asks, "What is your favorite food?" The team thinks it's a very easy question. Everyone gives their answer, but the bear says, "I smell a lie." You have 2 minutes to find the liar, or choose someone to laugh at. Everyone starts doubting each other. Suspicion falls on one student who answered, "My favorite meal is vegetables, as vegetables aren't considered a full meal." The student insists, "I'm not lying. I really do love vegetables." But in the end, the group chooses him out of suspicion. The bear selects him and kills him. Then the bear asks the second question, "Do you like Takate?" Ichika and Tox both say, "We love him," and Amaya also answers, "I love him." The rest of the students also say they love him, but after everyone responds, the bear says, "One of you is lying." Ichika immediately accuses Amaya, who denies it and claims he doesn't love anyone. They begin arguing. Meanwhile, Takate wonders, Why would anyone lie when the bear can detect it? Then the bear says to Tox, "Bravo! You discovered the truth. One of you is actually an alien disguised as a human. This alien has been lying from the very beginning. You must identify and eliminate them, or they will be the reason you all die." After this revelation, one student accuses Toxie, saying, "It can't be me or my friend. We're from the same school. So are Tekat, Chica, and Amaya. You're the only one different. We have to sacrifice you." Tekat and Chica defend her, but time is running out. The students from the same school, and Amaya, vote to choose Toxie. Most of them walk away, and the lizard puppet crushes and kills her. Tekat believes his old girlfriend has died, with only a bit of blood left behind. As the bear prepares to ask the next question, Tekat stops him and says, "I found out who the real liar is." The bear is shocked. Tekat explains, "Tox helped me discover it. Her blood washed away the white paint you sprayed on your body. Your real color is black. That means you're the one who's been lying and deceiving us since the start." He adds, "None of the people who died were actually liars. You made us believe there was a liar or an alien among us just to eliminate everyone." The bear, enraged at being exposed, tries to attack and crush the students, but they run away until the bear stumbles into a heated area. His body begins to burn, and the paint melts away. In the end, the bear accepts defeat and acknowledges that the students have won the challenge. After that, the group is transported to a new place for the next task. Small dolls appear and cover them with dirt, announcing that this is the final challenge. One of them will be chosen as Akuma. Akuma must take a box and place it in the red circle on the ground. At that moment, the remaining students must hide. Akuma will then begin searching for them. If Akuma finds anyone, he must loudly call their name and take them to a cell, thus capturing them. If Akuma manages to lock up 3 or more students, he wins. However, if any free student succeeds in throwing the box into a cage, they win. But they must know that the box contains a bomb. Throwing the box into the cage will mean sacrificing themselves so that the others may survive. Finally, the puppets announce that the challenge will not end until sunset, which is about 1 hour from now. If the hour passes and Akuma has not imprisoned 3 or more students, he will lose the challenge. After the rules are explained, one of the puppets takes out 5 wooden sticks to choose the student who will become the heap. Unfortunately for the students, the one chosen as the heap is Amaya, the craziest and most evil student among them. The game begins, and all the students scatter to hide, while Amaya places the box inside the red circle and then runs off to search for the others. Amaya quickly finds the students. The one from the high school tries to fight him, but Amaya is stronger and easily overpowers them, throwing them into the cell. Takahata and Ichika witness everything from a distance, but Amaya spots them and figures out their location. They are forced to act, and Takahata raises a rope to help them escape through the window, but Amaya arrives quickly. Ichika gradually realizes they won't be able to escape, so she sacrifices herself to buy Takahata some time and confronts Amaya directly. Amaya catches Ichika, then rushes to catch Takahata, but by then, Takahata has already escaped. Takahata knows that Amaya will now go to guard the box, so he searches for any place to hide. From a distance, Amaya yells loudly, trying to convince Takahata to come out, saying, "I've already caught 3 people. We can both win together." But Takahata doesn't trust him. He knows Amaya is lying, so he keeps searching for anything that might help him. He finds Bella in a tin suit, and Takahata emerges wearing the suit to protect his body from any potential explosion when hitting the box. But the problem is, the suit is very heavy and restricts his movement. Takahata appears to be struggling and drops his sword to the ground. He heads to the back of the castle, now unprotected. Amaya takes off Takahata's helmet and stares at him, but is shocked to find a chain attached. It turns out everything was part of Takahata's plan from the beginning. He had secretly tied a chain to his body so that when Amaya took off the helmet, it would trap him, preventing him from reaching the box. Takahata then speaks, saying, "I used to think life was boring. I wanted a change. But after everything that's happened, and after these games, I realized how valuable my life really was. I was foolish not to appreciate the blessing I had. But now, because of these games, I've lost my friends." With that, Takahata throws himself from the top of the castle, pulling Amaya down with him. Amaya struggles not to fall, but under pressure, Takahata slips out of the tin suit and climbs back up while Amaya is left trying to drag the heavy suit. Takahata reaches the roof and heads toward the box to throw it, but his body is exhausted, and he moves slowly. Amaya manages to break free from the chain in time and rushes to stop him, but Takahata throws the box just in time, freeing his fellow students. Everyone panics, expecting an explosion, but nothing happens. It turns out there was no bomb in the box. Seconds later, the sun sets, and the challenge ends. The puppets reappear and announce that Takahata is the winner. They admit they lied about the bomb, just to make the challenge more intense. Amaya is furious over his loss, and terrified that he will die. But the puppets say that the final challenge was all just a game, and no one is going to die. Celebrations fill the sky as the students rejoice, knowing they'll finally get out alive. The puppets hand out ice cream as a gift for their victory. Takahata eats his ice cream and chats with Ichika about what they'll do once they're free. After talking for a while, Takahata notices there are words written on his ice cream stick. But he doesn't pay much attention and keeps talking to Ichika. However, Ichika suddenly starts crying after reading the words on her stick. It says, "You lost, and you will die." The puppets speak again, saying, "Every challenge you faced required skill and intelligence. But in the end, luck is what determines who will live and who will die." They reveal that each ice cream stick contains the fate of its holder. Ichika's stick says she will die. Takahata checks his stick, and he was lucky. He will live. Amaya will also live, but the other students will die. As the fates of each one are revealed, Ichika and the students break down. A beam from one of the dolls picks up Takahata and Amaya and transports them to the top of the flying cube hovering over Japan. Everyone below cheers for them because they survived. But Takahata is at the peak of sadness because he lost his beloved Ichika. And with that, the movie ends. Thanks for watching this recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment below and tell me what else movie or series you want me to recap next.